Alright, take two. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mario here. Welcome your faces back to yet another episode here in the single player survival world. So as always, it's your boy Mario here. Today, lots of things to show off. It's been about a month since our previous episode, and I'm sorry for that. As you can tell by my voice, I am sick. I think I'm still sick. That would have been because I got sick at the beginning of September and it hit me again. It's now like end of October, so yeah. I don't know what's up with my immune system, but I'd say it was a little worse last time, but I'm still very congested. It might have a cough, but I'm getting better, so yeah, videos should be going back to normal somewhat. School is still a thing though, of course. So any hoosers, I'm just recording this intro a little bit post-production. I do have everything done for this episode except for the intro, but there's a lot of things for me to show off that I forgot to show off originally. So in a month's time, a lot of things has changed. I've done a few updates. I mean, last episode we worked on this shop build here. Let's go back to it a little bit here. I don't remember if I gave a good tour of it or not, but we have these barrels and whatnot with the products. Just a little refresher. We have this nice little display. Apologize, my nose, man, I'm so congested. And up here, a very cozy home for the shop owner. There it is. And yeah, this door is sort of like a loading bay and whatnot. Very cool. Other than that, I did add this log pile. I think this has been here for a while now, so I'd assume you've seen it. I did that same armor trick in this blacksmith shop right over here. Something I saw on Instagram. Credits to, I want to say X Gold Robin. That's his style, but it could have been someone else. I have been using it. No. Okay, I have the hoe on me. I just finished recording the episode, so there we go. Diamond toe. I'll tell you guys the diamond hose story a little later, but yeah, I've been using Instagram for a lot of my inspiration lately, so of course, if you haven't already, make sure to follow me there at @squaremario_Minecraft. I do upload some screenshots, some updates of builds and whatnot, just for a little sneak peek. And of course, join my Discord in the description as well. I'm a little bit more active on there than on Instagram, but yeah, I hope you saw a little bit of it there. But as well, between this episode, last episode, we went to a Woodland Mansion and got some cool loot. I don't think I showed this yet, but I did the same armor stand trick in here, but with the big freaking dragon head sticking out, and I put the egg on a little pedestal above my bed. So that's just a very minor thing that I changed. I also added this little wood plate to our desk, and it is weird because when you stomp on it, it pops off, so I get it's some kind of glitch, but it looks okay if it didn't have that weird fuzzy texture. But this is still fine because it looks like it's a part of the plate, so I like that. Nice little plate. So that Woodland Mansion, right, we went to it on stream. It's been like a few weeks now, but it was very fun. Thank you all that came out. Not a lot of great loot. We did get this diamond hoe though. That's where it came from. These two totems I think we got. Whenever you kill one of the summoner evoker guys that summon the little fly, I don't know the names of these mobs, jeez. Yeah, those guys, they drop totems of undying. Also got some emeralds here from killing pillagers, I believe, and then other than that, not much else. I think some miscellaneous stuff like pumpkins and just very minor drops. I think a lot of horse armor. Maybe a couple enchanted books as well. But that is the most of our loot there. And now that our intro is getting very long here, so I think that's everything I have to cover. Excuse me, I sound so nasally now. I think that's everything we have to cover pretty much between this episode and the last. I definitely showed off these street signs already. Oh, of course, I started the episode off, and you guys are probably confused why I didn't talk about this. I started it off. Right here we did a lot of off-camera work here. So on stream, the Woodland Mansion stream, I also did this beautiful little custom cave. This was already here, and I had a little sign that said waterfall for the longest time, so I just made a little stream that comes down and arrives at this pool. So that's a little bit of custom terraforming there, and I think it's very nice, very serene, a good addition to the village. Any hoosers, we also worked on this path. I did do this off camera, but I will be featuring a time lapse from the replay mod here for you guys. And be warned, there are a lot of time lapses throughout this episode. So this goes up to our church that we made a couple episodes ago. So this is just a very nice rough mountainous path that the villagers can take now to come up here. We also added these lanterns, a very small detail, but it really just illuminates the sides of the church, so that is very fine and dandy. Of course, the inside is still relatively the same, but that is pretty much it for this intro. It's been it's a very long intro now. We're at like 6 minutes ish. I'm probably gonna cut some stuff out, but this episode, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be working on a pumpkin patch, graveyard, and we do have a little bridge as well. And of course, replay time lapses for all 3 of those builds. So it's very exciting indeed. Even though we did a lot of stuff content wise, I think I am able to keep this video down in terms of length, just because of how short the time lapses are. So that is the beauty of replay mod, and I hope I can make a lot more cool stuff with it in the future. So I'll scratch it off next episode. You know, it's theoretically not done yet, but it's right over there. Alright, enjoy our little terraforming first. Alright, you guys, good morning. Now that we have some terraforming work done, I'll be showing you where we really want the graveyard and pumpkin patch. So as you can see, we have some signs there, and this sign says bridge. So pretty much I want to do possibly a time lapse, maybe some first person, but probably a time lapse though. We're going to be having like a simple rope bridge, still sturdy enough to support like a good amount of people for the village to consistently go back and forth, but not super grand or anything. Now this will look a lot better as well once we customize this river to flow smoothly, but for now we're going to be having this bridge. And then if we go across here, almost out of ender pearls, Over here, we're gonna have our pumpkin patch and graveyard, and possibly some more lower tier houses. Maybe some more fishing, more lumber, I don't know. But we're gonna have a whole area across the cliff here, just because we need some more space for these Halloween themed builds. Not necessarily Halloween themed, because they do actually fit in with the village theme. But yeah, that is what we're doing here. This is what I've come up with for our bridge. So now I don't know if this structurally makes sense at all to have all these things hanging, but with a lot of other rope bridges I've seen, this is pretty common, so that's what I've decided to do. Hopefully it makes sense. I hope none of my viewers are like structural engineers or anything. They're gonna completely expose me, but I suppose these things are for balance. I don't really know why, but a lot of Google images do show something like this. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this bridge. I feel it might be a little bit too extreme for like just a little village like this, but I think it's come out pretty well. It's like big, but I think it's a decent size. I did make it very rundown and rickety on purpose. We have like somewhat of like a guardrail, like a rope guardrail thing with these edges, and I sort of broke them up a little. Some of them have trapdoors, some of them don't, some of them have fence gates, and added some cobwebs as well just to show the old age. And yeah, I'm feeling this bridge. I'm just very iffy about these ends. I don't think I'm gonna have these weird rope things. They're meant to be like ropes tying the bridge down, but I might just I might have something else. I might use leads and armor stands or something at some point. I'll try to figure that out. Alright, so I'm gonna experiment with the leads here. I got this cow friend. This is the only wild cow I could find in a pretty large vicinity, so come on, up we go. I'm really just pulling him over here. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. So we're going to get you in. Okay, so this works. He's still attached. I'm gonna get you in this hole. Alright, get you in this hole. There you are. Took a nice fall. We'll attach you there. Oh, are you injuring? Oh my goodness. What? What? No, what? What? That just completely yeeted him. Okay, I guess get a shallower hole. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll be right back. Alright, chicky chick, I don't think you can die from fall damage. You got your feathers, so we're gonna bring you over here. Come on, come on. I'm gonna go in this hole here. Very nice, nicely done. I'm gonna cover you up, attach. Oh boy, I think we have to break this. Oh, that is glitchy. Okay, there we are. Alright, yeah, I like that distance. So he is at this block here. Now we just need to secure two more, like over here. So I guess you can't attach these to armor stands then. That's pretty sad. You know, this is actually a cool detail, because he's constantly flying around, and it looks like the wind is kind of tugging on the rope. I actually like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Unintentional little details, guys. So now, do we get another chicken or what? Alrighty guys, so I have all my chickens in place now. Just a slight few issues. If I want this bauble on all of them, like I do think it looks pretty nice, like I need this block on top because the chicken is all the way at the top block. And I tried putting him like even lower, but it doesn't seem to work that way. I think it's just because the elevation that this top thing is at. And I do like it having a little bit lopsided, so I'm gonna keep it like this, and then we can have like a bit of a hill here or something, something or the other. Maybe like I can put a tree on top. Okay, it might be a little bit inhumane, but it's Minecraft, and we have this super detailed little rope holding the bridge down now, and I think this looks great. A lot of people actually do this with their like tent builds and stuff, so I may consider doing that over by the lumber camp as well. But for now, this is my first time doing something like this with leads, and I think very big style points. Even though it's black, like I do like the original brown like lead color, but this is still really nice. I do find it glitches sometimes if you leave the area and come back, but then it just fixes itself after a relog, so sometimes you may not see them there, but I like it a lot. We're gonna live with this, and I think we're gonna get started with our other builds now. So we do have a graveyard and a pumpkin patch. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do both today, but I'm gonna do as much work as I can here, maybe get a little bit of time lapse and a little bit of first person building as well. I'm having a lot of fun with replay mod now that it is back. FPS is dipping a little though, I'm not quite sure why, but I'm gonna find a nice little area, gonna clear out some trees and whatnot for our graveyard build first, and then we'll build the patches, the pumpkin patch around our graveyard. Alrighty guys, so oh man, this is fitting, right? Zombies in a graveyard. Eesh. Alright, so that is pretty much the build. Just finishing some touches with some lighting here. I think this works pretty well. We have a couple jack-o'-lanterns in here. If you didn't know, you now have to right click on the pumpkins with the shears to get the carved pumpkin, and then you craft it the way you would a normal jack-o'-lantern. Here we have like a fresh pumpkin. We got a sea pickle as the stem here. I just got the sea pickle randomly, or not randomly, but I decided to trade for it from one of the traveling merchants just out of the blue because it was like a new item and I was excited to try it, but it's really just a sea pickle. So yeah, that's the only sea pickle I have. I don't really know how to grow more, but I'm sure I can just find more eventually, so it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna use it here, and it is pretty aesthetic as a pumpkin stem. So yeah, there we have that. I don't think we need any more lanterns. I guess I made an extra here, but we have a mix of lanterns and jack-o'-lanterns around the place. And this, you might be wondering, it's actually a coffin, so sort of a spare coffin out in the open, just to show that maybe someone died fresh and they're getting ready for their funeral. I don't really know much about death, so yeah, I'd say the build came out quite nicely. It's meant to be like this dreary stone mix build, not supposed to be much of anything else. So I think now we can really just decorate the graves. There's not much else we can do. And decorate the graves, put like flowers, I guess. I don't really know how you would bring flowers here. You can put flower pots maybe. Okay guys, so looking back at the footage, we do have a little bit of time to do some pumpkin stuff, just because I want to get a lot done this episode. I don't upload especially the survival too often, so I do want to get as much progress done as possible and fit it into like sort of a shorter time frame. So we're gonna go pretty heavy with the time lapses this episode. I'm not going to be talking through the pumpkin patch build much. It's mainly gonna be very similar to just our earlier crop farms here. I don't know how you haven't seen them by now, but just a cobblestone circle of sorts, different elevations, and just crops inside. I might decide to mix other stones, but I might not. The graveyard is already a little bit on the messy side, so might keep it just cobble here. And yeah, hope you enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed those time lapses. Oh, I hate when the freaking church doesn't load in the background. But yeah guys, that's mainly gonna do it for this episode. I'm gonna give you guys one final tour before we get going here. I also wanted to do this path here. That's for a different day. We pretty much have this entire other half of the village, not half, but like we built this entire section of the village, and I think it's very nice here. Only thing is, I feel like that pumpkin sticks out a little bit from afar, but it's whatever. I think it looks good from close up, just a little bit strange from afar. But going up here, we have our beaten rope bridge here. I really do like this bridge design. I'd say probably one of the favorite builds of this episode. Obviously it was a bit in my comfort zone, but my only issue with it is that it's a little bit on the chunky side. Let me know what you think though, of course. Coming up here, we have our rundown, very spooky graveyard here. I think it's very nice here. We have some empty graves. Now guys, I'd say my only complaint with this graveyard is that it's a little bit packed, a little bit on the messy side, but otherwise I'm really digging this. We have a very large mix of blocks, as you can see here, very broken down ground. I might change out these grass blocks to dirt, just because now once we change these all to dirt, grass won't actually be able to spread to them, and it makes a little more sense that there's no grass in here, right? And so, speaking of spooky designs, I might have a pretty neat collab video coming up soon here with one of my old friends who has now gone back into YouTube, so look out for that. I am very excited to hopefully bring you guys a collab video, and now not exactly sure about it just yet, but I do believe we'll be going through with it. And yeah, so we have our spooky graveyard here, and then coming up the path, which I just did here, then coming up here we have this much larger cart design. So I'd say this angle is definitely the best. You can see the contents and the entire cart, but just from the back it looks a little bit strange. Like from far away it almost looks like a scarecrow, just because you have the pumpkin on top, but it is supposed to be a cart. Supposed to have horses attached to the front here. Is a little bit chunky, and I tried my best here. I do plan on having like a very large fence surrounding the whole village, but now that we've taken this hill up here as part of the village, I don't think I'm gonna go all the way along the bottom there. I'll see though, I'll see, because we do have an official entrance, and this way if we don't fence off the entire place, the exports and imports will make a little more sense. You can kind of just come through the side of the village here and not have to go all the way around and navigate the paths. But enough blabbering. Here we have our wonderful pumpkin patch, and now I did end up changing a lot of the ground to this coarse dirt path block puzzle mix, and this is just to get rid of all the grass, because of obviously you can't plant the stem or the seed in every single grass block here, so we do have to leave spaces. And I purposefully only put puzzle on places where the pumpkin can't grow, because I know that once the pumpkin, if the pumpkin happens to grow on the puzzle, then it'll disrupt it. Now obviously it's not too often that I would harvest this, but in the off chance that I do, I don't want to get rid of any puzzle. Just a very minor thing. Yeah, that's our little pumpkin patch. We're only gonna have one for now. Thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed this one. We did so much work. Really inspired to keep going here. It's probably the most work I've done in the village in a while, just because I'm looking to get this finished, this whole project finished. I mean, like sometime in the near future, hopefully by the end of this year, by December, because that is pretty reasonable time, I'd say. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment what you thought, and of course subscribe if you want to see more awesome content. So guys, thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out. Goodbye.